As the Dean of the College of Medicine, my vision for the Sarver Center is to become a cardiovascular research institute that is in the top 10 nationally. And the vision is to create programs that start out with transformative scientific innovation.
There's very few places that have such a rich history as University of Arizona Sarver Heart Center. The first artificial heart was implanted here at the University of Arizona. Potential investment in the Sarver Heart Center, I think there's a chance to really build something similar or even better than what this place was. And it's a big responsibility to have the chance to build something that can benefit generations to come.
I had an unusual heart disease that was a genetic problem without a name. They did not have a diagnosis for me. Now, there's not only a diagnosis, but there's a whole section looking into just that particular, it's a troponin I mutation, and looking into that. So the whole research piece of it has just evolved tremendously. So much has changed since I went through. Well, the Sarver Heart Center has always been committed to pushing as far forward and reaching the community, which is something that I truly appreciated.
Sarver Heart Center has a very active clinical research operation, which means that we can conduct clinical trials in the hospital, going through all the regulatory pathways where we can develop or can take a drug or a device and test it on patients. So I'm planning to develop a pipeline whereby nationally or internationally patients with rare cardiovascular disorders can present to us, and we develop a personalized therapy for them. Right? So the Cardiovascular Institute will encompass all cardiovascular diseases. So right now, the Sarver Heart Center is mainly focused on the muscle disease, right? Specifically muscle disease. Studying other cells in the heart, studying cardiovascular disorders that affects minorities, that affect women, that affect pregnant women. Hypertension is a cardiovascular disorder. So when you compare what we are now, which is a focus on the heart muscle, compared to potentially what a cardiovascular institute would do, it would significantly broaden the focus, the research focus and the therapeutic focus of the center. Even if your toolbox that you have in the lab or in your immediate vicinity is small, your science cannot and should not be limited by that. So you go where your science takes you. And if it takes you where there's bioengineering, or where there's radiation biology, or there's advanced microscopy, you need to be able to reach out across the aisle and find collaborators that would help you. And being in an environment like that, I think, is very powerful.
Philanthropy in general is extremely important to support areas that are nascent, that are not well established, where there's still a lot of research that needs to be done to be able to get it to the bedside. That requires the ability to recruit top talent. This type of cardiovascular research institute with national prominence, it becomes the place where patients want to come to, where physicians want to come and train at, and it attracts other researchers in other areas of research that want to collaborate with our physician scientists and our scientists. At the end of the day, you really want to serve your community first and foremost. I think the Tucson community deserves to not have to travel to get the kind of care that we can provide here, that we envision.
It's so important that the future keeps moving ahead, which is going to save so many more lives. As the research keeps advancing and we know more and more, that's the goal really, is to keeping our hearts healthy, saving lives of all ages and around the world.